All right, so I am now about 12% into Captive of Wolves, and I have to admit, it's got me. I am completely gripped into this. Right now we have Talia, who is a human, just a regular human by all accounts, but she is being held captive by some magical folks that their descriptions actually kind of resemble werewolves to me. But yeah, they're like really bad for her, like really abusive. They torture her. They keep her half starved. They broke one of her ankles so she could never escape well. They magically seal the cage shut so she couldn't escape even if she wanted to. And they like have a bucket for her to go to the bathroom in, and they draw her blood. Like they keep coming in and drawing her blood for some unknown reason. And yeah, they do everything just shy of killing her. Her cage is like so tiny she can't even stand up, and they've had her for like 8 years. Well, one day she thinks that maybe she has figured out this magical password to unlock the cage. And so she thinks, even though I don't have magic, maybe I can say the words just right and escape. And while she's working on that, when they're gone one day, a whole new set of werewolf type magical folks show up, and they are looking for this tonic that this other werewolf group is using to like politically be ahead of everybody else. And they can't find any notes on it or recipes or any vials that have it, but they smell it on her, and that's probably what her blood's been getting used for. And she's like, I don't want to go with these guys. I don't know if they're any better. I just want to escape. I just want to, be free. But of course they grab her. And so they take her to their house, like mansion type area where they're at. And right now where I'm at, their leader Silas is talking to her and just trying to get to know her and her name and stuff. And he's just trying to piece together what's so special about this human, like what's going on. So we don't know much more than that, but it's interesting. But it's hard to read just how badly her body is damaged. Like she can't even walk because she hasn't been using her leg muscles in that tiny cage. So things like that, it's pretty rough, but the style of writing is so easy to read. It's so fun, and yeah, I'm like blowing through it. I am having such a good time. I am now 50% into Captive of Wolves, and I am having a good time. So our main character, where we left off at the 25% update, is now starting to develop feelings for some of them. Now, one of them in particular is just awful. He's just a horrible, abusive brute. And I get it, because anytime you're doing like a why choose romance thing, there's always somebody who really wants the dark bad boy, so you have to write that in there. But that is like the biggest turnoff in the world for me. I do not like bully romances. I don't like abusive romances. That is not my thing. It's one thing if that character is just like brooding, kind of a thing, that's fine. Even if they're verbally kind of a jerk because they're just angry at you for unknown reasons, like that I can get behind. But physical abuse is too much for me. For me, that crosses a line. So I kind of cringe in those moments, but outside of that, I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying the interactions with all the guys. I'm enjoying the dilemma that they're in with what to do with her, because on the one hand, their pack would have better standing if they turn her into the elders, but on the other hand, they're probably going to abuse her like she's been before. Plus them having her means they've got all the power because of what her blood can do. So it's like there's like this whole dilemma, and the pack is kind of torn in which way to go. And now that feelings are starting to happen, they're really getting torn with what to do with her. But yeah, I love that it's very realistic, where even if she finds herself attracted to some of them, she keeps telling herself, these guys aren't human like me, and I really just need to get back to my human world. And so I appreciate that, because a lot of times in these romances, they try to just pretend like this person's all of a sudden happy to be here, even though they were captured initially. So I do appreciate that. And yeah, I'm just having a good time. It's an easy to read, book. And so if this keeps up, it may be a 4 or 5 star for me. And I may have to get a pretty edition at Apollycon. I may have to, because this is just a lot of fun to read, and it's making me want to definitely pick up the sequel, I think, as soon as I'm done. So we'll see. I'm now 85% into Captive of Wolves, and it is really good. She has had some mild romantic entanglements with 2 of the 3, and the third guy is like, I don't want to see my brothers fight, so you really ought to leave. And so we're kind of dealing with the aftermath of that. And there's others that are still after her because of her blood and what it can do. And yeah, it's just good. I just love the way it's written. I'm having a fabulous time reading it. I don't want to put it down. And I'm 100% going to have to get beautiful editions of this at Apollycon. Okay, so I finished Captive of Wolves, and I am so glad I did this for Apollycon because, oh my gosh, it is so good. I am 100% gonna have to get special editions of these books because I just have a feeling I am going to be splurging on this, and I'm gonna be going crazy for this whole series. I can just see it now. It was so good. I'm surprised it doesn't have a higher rating on GoodReads, to be honest. I mean, it's a simpler plot, and it's very easy to read and follow, and Eva Chase's style. I mean, if this is how she writes most of her books, then I am on board with like all of her books. I am 100% going to try others from her. Yeah, I had a great time. It of course leads you right into the next one. So like there's a bit of a cliffhanger going on, but I'm not mad at it. And yeah, the spice level was actually pretty low. So it wasn't bad. Yeah, I'm just excited to see where it goes from here. I really had a good time with this one. I can't wait to see the next one. So I'm DNFing a Court of Sugar and Spice. It's supposed to be like a Nutcracker retelling, and it's not great, guys. Like, at least for me, it's not in a voice that I like. It's just kind of boring and slow, and I don't know. It just isn't for me at all. And so I'm gonna DNF. I'm only like 22% into it, but I just can't do anymore. I just can't. So sorry. Definitely not picking up that book at Apollycon. Okay, so after having that DNF, I was nervous about picking the next one, and then bam, my hold on Libby just came in. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll be listening to The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I had seen this around on BookTube as being like an enjoyable ride, kind of YA feel, fantasy. I didn't know it was like Greek. So it's got it's like a mix for me. I'm about 25% into it. I'm really enjoying it, having a great time. There's definitely a competition going on that feels kind of like lore. And it's also got some vibes for me of like the Crave series, as far as the titles of the chapters are hilarious, and the sarcastic wit and banter that are going on feel very much like Tracy Wolf's series. And it's got Hades, and it's got the gods and stuff. So it's also a little bit, you know, like oh, why am I blanking on the movie my husband loves so much that has the gods, the Titans, something about the Titans. Anyway, it's got all of these things going on, and it's a good time. I am actually having a really good time. I didn't know what to expect going into it. For some reason, thought it was going to be an epic fantasy, I guess because of the cover, but it's not. So it's got some Rick, I'm going to mess up his last name, so I'm not even going to try, of the YA genre that does a lot of the Greek stuff. So yeah, it's like really interesting, and I'm having a great time. So far, our main character is kind of a thief. She's part of a thief guild, which also gave me some Throne of Glass vibes. I mean, there's so many vibes in this. And so I really like her, and I really enjoy her story. And basically every year they have this competition where the gods, compete by using mortals. Of course they do. Again, kind of like in lore. And basically she gets chosen by Hades. So it's just, it's interesting. And she's finding a bit of an attraction going on there as well. And yeah, so we're in our first real event. So far, she's had to compete to get tokens, prizes, gifts, whatever you want to call them, that will aid her on the actual quest. And so, yeah, we're doing our first one right now, and it is suspenseful. I am now 50% into Games Gods Play, and it's still giving me all the same vibes that I mentioned last time in my update. I'm still feeling very Tracy Wolf kind of style of writing, and I love that. I ate that up, so I'm very excited. It's very easy to follow. I'm loving seeing the kind of like flirty relationship that's going on between our main character, Lyra, and Hades, and yeah, it's really good. And there's little nuances, and there's like alliances and broken trust and just all the things along with these, different competitions and trials that they have to go through. And so I'm all for that too. I love me a good trial. So yeah, I'm having a really good time. I don't know why I put this off so much. I guess I really thought it was going to be some kind of epic fantasy. I didn't realize it was going to be so fun. So it's like a Greek romantasy. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Kind of sad. I'm 75% into Games Gods Play, and man, the gods be awful. The gods be evil. The stuff that they're putting these characters through is just, it's too much. It's just too much. They're now involving people that these players care about that have nothing to do with these events, these trials. And they're being kind of sucked into it, and their lives are at risk now too, and we've already seen some losses, and that is hard. It is heartbreaking. The only thing that keeps it from being super depressing is the main character and Hades' relationship is really taking off, and I love seeing their interaction, and I love seeing that. And we do finally have some spice now at 75%, so prepare yourself. But I don't think it's overly gratuitous, at least it wasn't to me. So yeah, it just, my heart's kind of heavy for some of the things that have happened between 50% and now. All right, so I've now finished the Games Gods Play, and let me tell you, it was a surprisingly incredible ride. I really had a good time with this. I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming, but I'm so glad that I picked this up. And yeah, I'm giving it 4 stars. It was almost 5 stars. And I am most definitely continuing this series because it leaves you on kind of a cliffhanger, and I have things I need to know. But yes, highly, highly, highly recommend this series. I thought it was fabulous, and yeah, I just thought it was so good. I can't say much more without giving stuff away, but it was so good. It's definitely worth your time. Pick it up if you're at all interested in Greek kind of things, if you like championships and, that kind of a thing, if you like monsters, if you like any of the books and movies that I've talked about in this vlog, you're going to want to pick this up because it is really, really good. I really had a good time with this. But yeah, that's it for Apollycon. Next month is March, and yeah, like there's no more time. basically to read any more Apollycon authors. So I will have to try to get a beautiful edition of this book while I'm there, because even though it wasn't quite 5 stars, I can 100% see the whole series overall being 5 stars for me. So I'm going to try to pick up a beautiful edition and get a signature from Abigail Owen, because it was really, really a surprise hit for me. So this is the last Apollycon vlog you're going to see. I'm sorry. I'm disappointed too. I was having such a good time getting to know different authors and how they write. But there's just not enough time before Apollycon itself. I need to start gearing up and getting ready for that. I am so excited. You will get lots of goodies whenever I film while I'm there. And of course, I get to meet our beloved quest librarian, Kim from Whimsical Narratives. Cannot wait. I plan on buying her a drink and just really getting to the heart of everything. And of course, filming it all. So thank you all so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, send your friends, and I will see you all next time.